Oh, we back.
Oh, we are.
I'm Nick.
I'm Scott.
It's the Night Cap.
It is.
Formerly the Post Plug. What?
You don't do that in this show.
Oh, but I had to let them know. This is important. This is important. All right, so I don't know what you guys talked about last week. I wasn't here for that.
I swear to God, I don't remember what we talked about last week.
You know, that is a problem.
It's a little bit of a problem.
You'll know when you edit the thing.
I've actually been trying to come up with it since
idea.
you asked an hour
Did you
and a half
have one?
ago. Yeah.
I edited it.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what it is.
Mark's just not that interesting. I'm back, baby. I'm here. So, we're talking about fun things that we cannot stand about iOS 7.
Yes.
Thank you, Avram. Now, there are several things that come to my mind when I think about iOS 7. Most of them involve some sort of fork ramming it into my eye because I don't want to see some of the features on iOS 7.
Yeah, but a fork isn't quite like a knife. A fork's still allowed on the airplanes.
Right. But not on the iPlanes. So what would I despise about iOS 7?
What is the dumbest
feature?
most annoying feature? The most annoying was the question he asked.
The most annoying feature.
Not the dumbest.
Huh. Do you have one?
I do.
Okay, you go first.
Transparent text.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I hate it. There is no reason why on the dial pad the numbers should be transparent to your wallpaper. For example. It's not the only place that it happens.
Huh.
And
wow.
that is a design feature.
Like a thing they tout as, look at this.
Yeah. They did it on purpose. Because I can tell you, it wouldn't have been that easy.
Right.
To be able to bring the wallpaper through the application. Not necessarily that easy.
The wallpaper comes through to the application?
Yes.
Sort of like the bar on my Windows? Like that?
Yep. That Microsoft only had in one version and retired because it was such a bad idea.
Yeah.
But not quite like that. I mean, imagine the title bar of your application. Imagine it
Being
doing that,
the whole...
but it being the text in the browser. All the black text in the browser actually shows the wallpaper through instead.
Nah, son.
No, right?
Can't do that.
Isn't that a terrible idea?
You know...
Because what do you do if your application is dark and somebody sets a dark wallpaper? All of a sudden the text goes away. Or vice versa.
That's
the light
stupid.
application and the text is light and the wallpaper is light. All of a sudden the text is gone.
But it's innovative, Scott.
Sure it is.
That's what they tell me.
It's what they tell me too.
You know, there's a lot of things they tell me about iPhones in general, iOS 7. Innovative and new and exciting. I'm tired of all the lies. So
That's not a feature of iOS 7.
Indeed not. So backstory. The new iPhone 5S has a larger screen. Slightly. But they made a big stink about the commercial from the iPhone 5 being, doesn't it make sense that it's a 4-inch screen and you can go from here to here without any
The
problems?
5S has a larger screen?
Yeah, by a little bit. Not by much. It's
Really?
like bloop, bloop, just a touch.
Enough to apparently still sit in the body.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bezel. I don't know. But they make such a big stink about things like that. And then they go and do the thing that they... Like, who needs an MP3 player? That's the worst idea ever. Who would ever use a netbook? That's the worst thing ever. And then iPod and MacBook Air. The stupid live tiles. It's the only way I can call them. They're not live tiles. But the stupid attempt at live tiles that are gradient. Freaking gradient.
Oh, you're...
On the app icons.
Yes. The app icons from Apple
Yes.
are offensive.
Horrid.
Yes.
Like, they leave a chalky iron taste in my mouth. Like, I feel I'm having a stroke when I look at them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're...
Like I'm at some 12-year-old rave party, and this is the color scheme they chose.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I get it. You concede to Windows, yet again, about a feature that most people want that you decide to implement after trashing it. I get it.
But not implement.
Exactly right. They said, okay, that's dumb, but they're right. It's useful. So we'll include a little notification icon of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
To be fair, that's been around for a long time.
It has been. And they said, let's take it a step further. Let's make them in the solid colors in the background. But I got a better idea. Let's freaking gradient them because that makes sense.
Yeah.
They come off wonky and almost 3D-like, and they make my eyes hurt.
Yeah. Oh, they're horrible. Yeah.
They're not the flat. The flat works.
Yes, it does.
You don't look at the tiles the whole show. You look at me.
Right.
Because I'm amazing. It's questionable.
Sure.
Sometimes you look at Scott. Depends on what branding he has on his hat. But for the most time, you're looking at things that are moving around.
Right.
My live tiles move around on a flat background.
Mm-hmm.
I look at them because they display information.
Right.
These freaking icons don't move. They don't do anything.
They're-
But they look like they're moving. They look like you're in that little tunnel in the haunted house that spins but not really spins, and you think you're spinning. And you can't even, you know what I'm talking about. You can't even walk down the thing. People with the most awesome training in ballerina balancing fall down in that stupid tunnel. Even if you look at the ground, you think you're spinning.
It's true.
It's the weirdest mind screw up ever. That is what the iOS 7 reminds me of. That tunnel in that stupid haunted house. That's a weird comparison, and I'm okay with it.
I got another one for you.
Okay.
Actually, I've got 2 more.
All right.
I'm going to go back to the dial pad because it's a phone. The fact that the buttons are so small and use so little of the physical real estate of the screen to dial. They're these tiny little round Microsoft style buttons, but they're tiny and round. Whereas, grab any phone and the buttons are close together, they're square, they're large. There's no big gaps in between them.
It looks like a phone that's been looking like a phone since dial tone phones have been around.
Yes. And there's a reason for it.
Touch tone is the word I was looking for.
Why waste the space? Make the hitboxes appropriate. But they've got these tiny little circles with huge space in between them.
At some
That
point,
doesn't match the rest of the operating system.
right, there's that. At some point, people have lost freaking sight of what a phone should do.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I spend a lot less time talking on my phone than I do of other stuff on my phone.
Sure.
Half of the reason is because Verizon only gives me 450 minutes. The other half is because I'm not that active on voice. I do this for an hour. I'd rather not talk to people for the rest of the week. But that's not the case for most people.
We're up over 100 minutes now.
Right. I've used most of my minutes already.
Whoa. Huh.
By talking for an hour.
That was fascinating.
So, I get it. I'm the exception to the rule, though. So, a lot of people use their phone to talk. A lot. Business phones in particular.
Yep.
Why would you take the phone aspect away
And minimalize it as much as they have.
and make it not important?
Marginalize is what I meant.
I get it because their phone antenna sucks. So why use the service?
They don't want people to have to interact with the radio.
To have another conference about you're holding the phone wrong still, even though we moved the antenna.
So my third one
Go on.
is the active wallpapers. Now, they're not active like Android wallpapers are active,
Right.
where you've got a koi pond or things like that.
They're so adorable.
You've got this acid trip color blur thing happening that is so terrible that people have actually gone to the hospital with motion sickness
I have not heard about this.
because of it.
It's that stupid haunted tunnel again.
Yes, that's the thing that made me think of it. Because it's literally that. People have gone to the hospital
I've not seen that.
with vertigo and motion sickness and nausea and all kinds of things because of the whatever they call their active wallpapers. They can't call them that because Android's got it. But whatever they call active wallpapers.
Good thing that nobody calls them active desktops.
Yeah, Microsoft would own them in Windows 98.
The white screen that looks like Internet Explorer error page. Active desktop cannot be displayed right now. That's when you knew your computer was screwed.
Yeah. It was time for a reboot or a refresh.
Or throw it away. Just throw the computer away.
That's why people are afraid of the internet, my friend.
I get it. Your desktop goes white and has scary messages. I get it.
Oh, active desktop.
I'm with you though. That is bad.
Those are my three.
I mean, so this is an iPhone.
The transparent text.
Yeah.
Another great example of the transparent text, by the way, is the buttons on the main menu. Most applications have those as the transparent text as well.
So I have an iPhone 5S/iOS 7 problem. I'll just throw it out there. I know it's been fixed, but it got through testing twice.
Oh, which one are we going to go with?
You got a picture? I can get into your pictures without unlocking the phone, access all your pictures, and share them with any contact in your phone book or in your social feeds.
Anything that is implemented in the photo share, since
Right.
iOS 7 doesn't have sharing contracts.
Right. So I can share it with any contact in that list. Cool. That's brilliant. Without unlocking the phone? Great.
I'm going to one-up you.
Oh, yeah.
It's worse to be able to make a phone call to anybody you want, including the contacts in the phone, without unlocking it.
How great is that?
Yeah. It's funny because the same conversation this afternoon that I had also involved this conversation. And the fact that how does something like that get past testers?
Initial testing.
And my guess is that it's Apple pays their testers like they're disposable as opposed to like they're essential.
Right. When testing is the most essential. They looked at it and said, oh, it locks. Done.
Yep.
Lock screen locks.
They're the minimum wage testers as opposed to the $20 or $25 an hour testers.
Seriously. And then we'll just cap this one off. The ability to remotely log into your phone and do stuff in the background while your phone still looks like it's being locked. That's a good one. If you're on the same Wi-Fi, any hacker can get into your phone and it's not fully patched yet. And you can access a phone remotely as long as you have the IP address and the MAC address and do things behind the scenes in the phone without the phone ever coming off of unlock or sleep.
Oh my God.
How about that? Because that's secure.
Now the only thing we have to be able to do is accomplish that on a Samsung.
And we're done.
And we've got our Piltch point problem solved.
To Samsung's credit, they've put in some checks and balances on top of the Android software to prevent stupid things like this from happening in some cases. I can't say all because it's still Android. But Samsung has done a good job in minimalizing the risk. They've shelled layers on top of things to prevent stupidity as best they can. Because, again, I give Samsung credit for being a great company.
All of that is fascinating to me. I did not know about that.
How about that?
I did not know that you could...
It was the same German hackers that discovered that they can lift the fingerprint and use it to open the fingerprint scanning on the iPhone 5S.
All right. I want to make it very clear right here and now. We will never call it a fingerprint scanner again because that's not what it is.
Okay. What are we calling it?
It's a biometric sensor.
Fair enough.
It's not a fingerprint scanner because a dog can be set up with it.
Right.
It's a bioelectric signature.
You can use your elbow. You can use your fist. There's a bunch of different ways you can make it work.
It's a bioelectric scanner.
I would purposely freeze a piece of sausage and keep it in my back pocket, like the sausage pen that used to make iPhones work before they would work with fingers.
Yeah.
No,
before
gloves.
Gloves. Yeah.
Same thing. I'll freeze dry that sausage stylus pen.
Oh, Japan.
To make that work as my biometric.
It's all fascinating.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. There's the nightcap for tonight. Enjoy that. I mean, usually these are funnier, but this just had to be said. Thanks, Avram.
I don't know. The sausage was pretty funny.
That is. That is. I mean, I could see plenty of awesome objects I could use to unlock my iPhone.
It has to be bio.
I'm well aware.
Yep. I got it.
This portion of PLuGHiTz Live's family of content is not sponsored or part of the Tech Podcast Network.
No.
I
you're
suppose.
a proud member of the Blueberry Network.
That's right.
Blueberry, no E's.
For all your podcasting needs. Hey, we can bring that back.
We can.
Awesome. So I'm Nick.
And I'm Scott.
And this was the Nightcap. If you got any questions for us that you'd like us to talk about, please send them our way. We're on Facebook at PLuGHiTz Live or F5 Live, or on Twitter at PLuGHiTz Live. Use the hashtag Nightcap. And we want your questions. And then we'll mention who you are in some sort of awesome graphic that Scott will make to put here just to give him more work, because that's what I do. That'll be good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
I actually like that idea.
Cool. I just came up with it. I'm a visionary.
Is that what you are?
Sometimes. I mean, I can see things, except when I take off my glasses.
Fair enough.
And then I cannot.
Then you're no longer a visionary.
Right.
You're a invisiblary. Nope.
Go with that.
That's John.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao.